Better turn that off. March Madness glorious. So, them Peacocks, this is important because sports metaphors matter. They had the exact same record as Weber State had this year. They play in probably a lesser division than even, well, equivalent to the Big Sky based on historical data. And this could be the very first team in the history of the NCAA tournament, a 15 seed, to go to the Elite Eight. It's tied. This team, these Peacocks were, I think, 11 and 12 at one point in this season. The downfall of Utah basketball is disturbing. All 4 teams make the tournament every year. I hate to say it, but Randy Ray should have been gone years ago. Really, years ago. And I understand players like him, and I get it, but the talent he has and what he does with it, the Big Sky should be ashamed of them fucking selves. You know, but sports metaphors matter. Me and Randy got in a big fight, you know. Well, I don't get the talent like a big shit. You got 10 times the talent, you know, Joe Bombo. And I want to say this to the incredible player in Russia who's sitting in a prison cell, the Bill Russell of women basketball. Wow, why did she go over there after the war started? Her agent told her, because the agents. Get out! Are you kidding? So, sports metaphors matter. You know, the Utah basketball culture, which was so massive, it was right up there with... Where's your book? Hold on, let me get my book. Ranked right up there with Kentucky and North Carolina basketball culture. Coaches matter. You know, let me show you something here. This is so historic, what's going on right here, right now. God, I hope they can pull it off. Why can you never turn to that page? It doesn't want to, because they don't like what? That's the first player of color in the history of the NBA right there. His number's not in there. 2 national championships at Weber State. That's Arnie Farron. They were teammates right here at Ogden High School. National championships at Weber State, he won. He won national championships at University of Utah, so did he. NBA, first player of color in the history of the NBA. What's their problem here? Head of the NCAA committee. Tournament, I watched Jason Kidd's last game. I was just looking through my old program. I dug out my Jimmy Valvano program when he cut down the nets in there in the second round. Why don't they play in these arenas anymore? 12,000 seats isn't enough for these greedy bastards. It's like the rest of the country. What happened to you, Bob Bapas? The only time you fucking Jazz. What a joke. It's obscene what they've done. Take the kiddies, spend $10,000 to go watch a freaking shitty game. Such a good product. When Frank Layden ran the show, Phil Johnson. Yeah, Phil coached here. Go Peacocks. Hurry it up, Kev. Get that game on. It's tied. You don't think that's... Oh, you dropped it. I hope that ain't a metaphor. From hard hats to crowns, I put up Dick Motta's banner up there. A little late. He's 90-something years old. Boy, they put Lillard's up there in a hurry. What's Lillard ever won? He never won anything here. All he ever did was lose here. Nike. That's why. Nike. The NBA is not a sport. I heard a guy talking. Where's your crown? From Dick Motta's hard hats to Damian Lillard's crowns. Heard a guy talking on the game doing the analysis, and he sounded just like me. He says, I hated it. He says, I played in the NBA for 7 years. I hated every bit. Harold Arsenault, I talked to Harold Arsenault, who could be the greatest player that ever played there. You know, I still say it's Jerry Carter, but it could be Harold the Show. You know, Eddie Gill, still all that. He says, Joe Bass told me this. I remember him telling me this because I worked for a coach at Bagelin then. Well, you need to do this, this, and this in your senior season to go for the NBA scouts. And Arsenal looked at him and said, what are you talking about, NBA scouts? Well, if you're going to go to the NBA, whatever gave you the idea I wanted to play in the NBA. That's the last thing I want to be, is one of those creeps. I want to have a happy life. I'm going to go home after this. Heard him talking, he says, played in the NBA for 7 years. He hated it. I knew I was being exploited. I knew I was nothing but to sell sports merchandise. Damian Lillard's on these tournaments advertising beer. They never spoke his name around here, but then they retire him and sell his jerseys like freaking mad. It's all about sports merchandising. He says, when I played college basketball, I knew I was nothing there but a pawn for these coaches to get rich. But me and my teammates, none of us made any money. I played for the love of the fucking game. I loved every minute of it. Blanche, you got to go with that look better. Jerry Carding. Joe Ballenboy. Jeremy Sieglin. Scotty Bamforth. Damian Lillard. No talent on this floor. I'll take a Bagelin any day. Mediocrity. Go Peacocks. Can they do it? You don't think it in the history of the tournament? In the history. I love that little conference. I almost went to work for St. Francis. They played them this year. And I still say it because I lived in Brooklyn forever. And I says the only thing authentic left in Brooklyn, I used to say for years, is the LIU Blackbirds. You get off the queue, headed over to the Barclays Center. That place is creepy, Barclays Center. Stop one stop earlier and get off on DeKalb Avenue. Take a left a couple blocks and go to that old beautiful gymnasium. LIU Blackbirds. You know, I mean, they sent him to jail, the best player in the history of that league. He wasn't point shaving. What a story. For the love of the game. Long live Arnie Farron. He's still alive. Bob Masaka has just passed away. Willie Soldier. Oh, how good was he? Justin Thigpen. How good was he? Oh my God. I saw Stockton playing here when he played for Gonzaga. They were in the Big Sky. They got blown out, but he played a good game. But Jason Kidd's last game, saw Jimmy Valvano cut down the nets to go to the Final Four, and they won it in New Mexico. So many great games in here. So many. You know, over the years. That 86 team, Purvis Ellison, when they won the whole thing, came out of here, Louisville. Huh. That 83 team beat that good Utah team. And then upset Ralph Sampson, #1. Go Peacocks.